A Little Hocking firefighter is being recognized by the state of Ohio after saving the life of a fellow first responder on the way to an emergency call. Our Chase Campbell talked to both firefighters about what happened.
Joshua Watkins, Lieutenant and Advanced EMT with the Little Hocking Volunteer Fire Department, received the Star of Life Award from the Ohio Division of EMS, one of only 9 departments honored statewide this year. Last July, Watkins and fellow firefighter Dale Wooten responded to a mutual aid brush fire in Dunham Township. About 3/4 of a mile from the station, Wooten began gasping for air, going into anaphylactic shock.
Dale started to gasp for air and started asking for his epi. He had epi in his pocket, so we got the truck stopped and I was able to remove his bunker gear, get to his EpiPen, and administer the epi.
Wooten said he could feel himself losing consciousness before the epinephrine took effect.
When you start seeing black dots before your eyes, you know you're not very long, you're going to be unconscious. As soon as I get the pen, that goes away, I relax, and I'm able to breathe.
After stabilizing Wooten, Watkins called for a squad and directed traffic in the dark on Route 555 until EMS arrived. Wooten was transported to the emergency room and released later that night. Watkins said treating someone he considers family made the moment even more intense.
It is very different administering epi or any kind of medication to somebody that you're very close with. But at the same time, the training kicks in, and Dale not only is still your brother, but he becomes your patient.
Wooten, a 47-year veteran of the department, nominated Watkins for the award. He submitted a write-up to Ohio EMS in Columbus last summer, and the formal presentation took place Wednesday in the state capitol.
There's 88 counties, and there's thousands of EMTs, EMRs, advanced paramedics. There's thousands of us. And there was only 9 departments recognized yesterday, and we were one of them. So that's a big deal.
Watkins says he sees the recognition as a reflection of the training every first responder receives, not his own heroism.
I really and truly did what any responder would have done in my situation. I just am very thankful God was in control. He was watching out for us from the time we left the building to the time Dale was at the hospital, and even till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when he got released from the hospital.
In Little Hocking, Chase Campbell, WTAP News.